How do you collect funds from Amazon for your book sales? What if writing a book is not just a way to transform the lives of many people, but also a way to create financial freedom and leave a legacy? Wouldn't you want to find out just how to do that? Well, that's what this show is all about.
Hi, I'm Hennika Watkis, Porter speaker, coach, author of Podcast Power, and the host of the Entrepreneurial You podcast, inviting you to listen to the Authorpreneur Secrets podcast, brought to you by C. Ruth Taylor, best-selling indie author and the Caribbean's most trusted voice on entrepreneurship. Tune in for inspiration, information, and innovation to write and win with books. Get ready to dominate entrepreneurship.
Greetings, entrepreneurs. Welcome to episode 57 of the Authorpreneur Secrets podcast. I'm your host, Ruth Taylor, and this is a show that gives you the roadmap to take charge of your publishing with some stories and strategies to dominate entrepreneurship. Coming up in today's show, we're going to be having a Q&A session. I'm going to be addressing 3 questions that we tend to get asked a lot from authors in the Caribbean. And those 3 questions are how to publish a book. So I'm going to be answering that yet again, but sharing the resources to help you to do that. How do we collect funds from our book sales on Amazon? And what if I don't have a Kindle? So my book is on pre-order, my book is for sale on Amazon. If I don't have a Kindle, can I still read that book? So I want to address that because it keeps coming up every time I'm working with an author and the book is on pre-order. People are of the impression that the Kindle book, the ebook that is on Amazon, that they can't purchase it or they can't access it if they don't have a Kindle. So I'm going to tackle that today. So it's going to be a solo show. And I'm also going to be sharing about some new releases and just some publishing news as it relates to Caribbean authors. On Monday, it will be the 30th of May. And so we're ending Child Month. And I'm going to be sharing a little news I found out about a child author who's just doing amazing things. So let's have a word from our sponsor, BambooSparks. And then I'll come back to answer those questions.
Your book is the perfect spark to get the fire going in your personal life, career, business, or ministry. Light that book spark today with BambuSparks, a global independent publishing services and publishing education and training business for transformation. BambuSparks will take you from manuscript to market faster than you thought possible and even manage the process for you. Check out their 3 main offerings: the Self-Publishing Spark, the Rocket Writing Spark, and their BambuSparks Done-For-You management deals for authors in the Caribbean and the diaspora. Discover how BambuSparks can help you to publish and leverage your book to grow 90 feet tall at BambuSparks.com, and that's bamboo with a U.
Okay, so we're almost at halfway in the year and May is celebrated as Child Month. And I noted that a number of news entities or the media featured our children. And Loop News had Meet Loop Little Writers, Hannah, Gianna, Stephen, Zwaditu, and Joshua. I hope I pronounced her name correctly. But this caught my attention because the daughter of our chief editor at BambuSparks, Hannah Watson, was among the little writers, Loop's little writers that were featured. And that's an interesting interview. And Loop shared articles from 20 Mona Prep School Loop little writers ages 8 to 12 on various topics, most of which they chose themselves. And so I'm going to put a link to that in the show notes so you can meet them and review what they had to say. Our children are very intelligent, and the signs for the future are great in terms of authorship in the Caribbean. And I also found another one. A friend of mine, Dr. David Corbin, sent me this one. It was an interview with a 6-year-old child from Trinidad, Corinne Clark, who has already published 4 books. In fact, she has an entire series of about 6 books that she has been working on. And this little lady was so articulate. I was in awe, because many times as authors, adult authors, we struggle to explain our books. And I often have to be saying, what's your message? Who's your audience? What's the purpose of the book? And adult authors struggled. I used to struggle with it. And this little girl was able to describe each of her books in a very clear manner. And one of her books is dedicated to her great-grandmother, to honor her memory and the things that her great-grandmother taught her. And I just found that marvelous. And you understand why, because I just published a book for my grandmother's birthday on May 16, The Voice, which is also to honor my grandmother and the lessons she has taught me. And I want to thank all the persons who've purchased The Voice and the feedback that I'm getting so far. And it's just awesome. And each time I reread the book, I am also inspired. So I'm going to put a link in the show notes that you can check out Corinne Clark's interview that was on TVJ. She's from Trinidad. And you can meet Loop Little writers who were featured on May 9. That was my birthday, right? So I see that the future is bright for our Caribbean authors. Last week, I announced that you could go to the website of BambuSparks.com, our show sponsor, and get a 2-page publishing guide that outlines the 12 basic steps to publish a book from start to finish. And this show is geared particularly towards independent authors, those who are self-publishing, those who are paying publishing services providers to get their books published, those who are paying others to manage the process. That's primarily what we do in the Caribbean, and we still call them publishers. So I know internationally, that is not what obtains very often, and sometimes because of the scams out there, they come down hard on publishing services providers. But this is the number one way that we produce books in the Caribbean. And this is what publishing is about for us. And so you have to be very careful when you just lump everybody and call them vanity press and scams and things like that. This is how it is done primarily in our neck of the woods. Just be careful, study the process, don't go into it blindly. Watch what you're getting when people say they are marketing your books for you. At BambuSparks, we have a royalty share deal. It's limited. It depends on the type of book and who the author is. And it is in the pilot phase just now, where you don't pay any money up front, and we will provide the services to publish your book and help you to market that book for a year. And then we split the profits, recover expenses, and help you to sell at least your first 1,000 books. Now, that is very helpful, especially for those who are on a budget, those are struggling financially. And believe me, I understand. That is why I created this show, to educate you on the publishing process, to help you to take charge. And that's why I wrote the book, Authorpreneur Secrets: Write Fast, Publish Affordably, and Generate Lasting Income. So part 2 of the book, Authorpreneur Secret, I've taken that out and created a course called Publishing Secrets 101, which is about how to publish a book, especially your nonfiction book, for $500 or less, or under $1,000. And I've created a series of video teachings that are part of that course that is on Udemy. Over 1,300 students have done that course, and it has videos. It also has handouts, templates, and written materials that will help you. But what I've done, I've taken out the 10 videos, which are just about an hour, and it is now on my YouTube channel. So I would encourage you to go to see Ruth Taylor. My YouTube channel is called Authorpreneur Secret. Subscribe to the channel and watch these 10 videos. I would love if I could get 1 million persons to watch and to learn the publishing process and to learn how to publish on a budget, know where to go to get the resources to do this so that more people can publish and remove the price barrier. So help me spread the word, right, about Publishing Secrets 101. Either do the course on Udemy or go to YouTube. And if you want written material, just go to BambuSparks.com, and right there at the top of their page, download the 2-page publishing guide. You can also purchase the book Authorpreneur Secrets. So you're going to learn how to write fast, how to publish on a budget, and you're also going to learn how to create multiple streams of income or monetize your book and increase your impact with just that one book. So you have all of those resources to win. In terms of how do you collect funds from Amazon for your book sales? Well, there are 2 ways. When you sign up for your KDP account, if you don't have an account in the US, Canada, or those countries that are on the approved list, then you automatically will choose the check option. And once you've earned $100 in royalties, Amazon will send you a check. If you're in the US, Canada, or one of those countries that are on Amazon's approved list where you can send money directly to your bank account, then it's not a problem, right? So we're not talking about a US account in Jamaica or Trinidad or elsewhere, but it has to be in the US, Canada, UK, one of those approved countries. But if you do not have that set up, you can get what we call a Payoneer card. Go to Payoneer and sign up for a card. Payoneer will give you a US bank account, and you get the US address and all of those details, routing number and everything. And then you can connect that to your Amazon account, your KDP account. You can register that as your bank, and the money will be sent there. Once a book is sold, Amazon will forward the money to your account. And with the Payoneer card, it's a prepaid MasterCard, right? You can go to the ATM and withdraw funds. Of course, there is a user fee with Payoneer, as it is with most banks and these services. There's also Wise, which is a money transfer company similar to Payoneer. You can open up a Wise account, and again, they will give you an account in the US, UK, and you can use that information, that account with the routing number and everything, the bank account number, and add it to your KDP account, and they'll be able to transfer money to you. Incidentally, it's the same thing that you can do with PayPal. In the Caribbean, it's often very difficult to get money direct. Again, it is because of some of those systems that have been set up. You know, some persons make it bad for us with scamming and so forth. And so some countries, they are suspicious, or the systems are not set up for us to get funds directly. And so you could go through Wise or Payoneer and get that account, and then you'll be able to get funds directly. So those are some of the workarounds. Now, Amazon doesn't use PayPal. So that's what you can do. And the final question about Kindle. All right. So very often I ask my authors to put their books on pre-order, and usually it is a Kindle book. Amazon, as far as I know, for independent authors, we are not allowed to put our print book on pre-order. So it's often the ebook, and then we encourage persons to purchase that before, and then at the appointed date for release, the book will be released to them. But I find that very often people are saying, but I don't have a Kindle. You don't need a Kindle. You can download the free Kindle app on your laptop. You can download it on your phone. your iPad or your tablet, and you can access your book. So on my phone, I have an Android, so I go to the Google Play Store and I download the Kindle free app, and that's where I read my Kindle books, and it's free. So that's all you have to do, and you can Google it. So tell your potential buyers or readers that you don't need to get a Kindle to be able to buy the book. And having a book on pre-order is a good way to market your book, and it's a good way to start selling books even before the book is published. And it can help you with your ranking if you're trying to get a bestseller status. And so you can use it to market the book so people can actually start reading by the time of your book launch or when the print book is released. Then you can use that to get enough reviews and things like that. Right now, I have an author. Her book is coming out on the 2nd of June. It's called Through the Tears I Rise by Lorraine J. Smith, and it's on pre-order. It's been on pre-order for a while, and you buy the book, but then it comes to you later. So it's not released immediately. So we set the release date in advance, hence it's called a pre-order, and you work towards it. When you do your pre-order, no later than 4 days before you upload the book, or else you will not be able to do pre-orders for another year. So you want to make sure that everything is done on time. You want to upload before. I trust that those answers were helpful. I want to give a huge shout out and congratulations to another member of my Authorpreneur Secret Academy membership group, Garfield Robinson, who released his second book, Dare to Contend. It's in the ebook format or the Kindle version. It was released on May 25, and it's a defense of the doctrine of salvation. His book prior to that was Dare to Ask, 35 questions asked in scripture that are still relevant for today. And that became an Amazon bestseller in one of his categories. So go and support Garfield. Go and support Lorraine. I was Lorraine's publishing coach. And what Lorraine did, which I'm excited about, is that we embarked on a process where she didn't have to write her book. We went from idea to book with just her speaking the book, and it was done fairly quickly. And that is one of the services that I offer. So it's part of the rocket writing process and plan. And it's a little bit different from ghostwriting because the author's voice and words are preserved. We only organize and polish it. And so I'm very happy for Lorraine. This is a woman who's just been through so many challenges, and she's learned to turn those struggles into stepping stones. So it's a memoir. Garfield's book is more of a biblical teaching tool for Christians to help you to understand your faith and contend with the issues of what in theological circles we call soteriology. Yeah. So congratulations, Garfield. Before we end the show, I just want to give a shout out to the folks who commented on last week's episode. Joanne Richards Goff, she's an author of the book Auntie Jojo Goes Vegan and The God Incidences. And she said of last week's episode that this is such an excellent episode. I mean, all are very good, but this one. So thank you, Joanne, for listening and commenting. That was episode 56 when we talked about book covers and formatting tips for authors with Clavia Watson Reed. And also Patricia Reed-Waugh was very appreciative of that book. She is a retirement expert and author of the books Retirement, A New Adventure, and Retirement, The Journey and the Destination. Thank you for listening. I trust that you found this episode helpful. It's been a while since we did a Q&A, and so I thought, why not? Since these questions are frequently asked, I thought that you might find it useful and helpful. So Ta for now. Until next time.
I'm Tamara Francis, educator and editor. Don't forget to rate, review, subscribe, and share the podcast with your network. If you'd like to increase your impact and income with books, visit AuthorpreneurSecret.com for more resources, including the books Pen It to Win It and Authorpreneur Secrets. Join the Authorpreneur Secret Academy membership group for courses, coaching, and community support to write, publish, and win with books. Until next time, go pen it to win it.